Hello and welcome. Opportunity versus reality in the Indian IT services sector. That's what we are talking about today, trying to understand what are the real opportunities that lie ahead and also what's the reality when it comes to business and business transformation opportunities for Indian IT services. And I'm speaking to Arvind Thakur, CEO of NIIT Technologies. Thank you so much for speaking with us. So very broadly, why are we even saying or posing a theme which is in some ways opposed to each other, opportunity versus reality?
Well, as you know, the industry has been looking at the whole new phenomena around digital for the last couple of years and things have been moving thick and fast, particularly with respect to emerging technologies. And actually these emerging technologies are hitting us faster than what we had imagined earlier, particularly in the area of natural language processing, artificial intelligence, robotics, and so on. Now, I think it's important to reflect on whether this is a hype or it's actually happening. And I think it's in that context that the theme of this particular conference is to look at the opportunity as well.
And how do you view this?
Well, most certainly, when we look at these emerging technologies, particularly artificial intelligence, I think it's beyond hype now. And we are seeing real life use cases where indeed, these technologies are driving not just efficiency, but delivering a superior experience. So I would say the opportunity is immense. And particularly for India, because India has the brain power, and these emerging technologies are really the reflection of what is now termed as the fourth industrial revolution. And as we are all aware, with each revolution, there has been a shift of economic activity. I think here the opportunity is for economic activity to shift to India. So it's a big opportunity for us.
Right. And 2 years ago I asked you about, and you illustrated how your own group was working on the training side, right? So there was a digital transformation opportunity, but you needed people, skills and capabilities to meet that. And you've been investing heavily in that. So as you look back 2 years and all that effort that's gone in, where do we stand?
Well, obviously we made significant progress. There are two aspects of education over here. One is of course around hard skills. And so for all these new emerging technologies, you need to have people who have those skills because the old skills are becoming less and less relevant. The other is the culture because the mindset had to be changed of people where earlier they would do what they're told to do. But with the new paradigm, they are expected to identify opportunities of value add. So on both these fronts, obviously, not just the company, but I think the industry itself has made very significant progress. And that's the reason why you're seeing companies and the industry growing at a rate which is far superior than what it was in the earlier years.
Can you illustrate this for us through the eyes or in the context of one customer?
Well, if you look at, let's say we function in we operate in the travel space. Now, the whole approach that we're now taking to our business is to engage with the emerging and transform at the intersect. So now what we're saying is we have to use these new technologies and at the intersect of the industry and domain and these technologies is where we need to transform. So with one large airline, for example, what we've really done is use natural language processing and actually built in the Alexa technology, where now a customer and who's catching a flight can interact with Alexa and check his booking, flight details, and everything else, which obviously is a superior experience in transforming that airline.
Right. So can I also ask, as we close, can I also ask you for a few what you think are standout achievements, either in process or technology or some form of innovation that you feel you've
well, if I talk
so.
about the industry as a whole
and NIIT, yeah,
and NIIT, well, let me just talk about the industry as a whole. Very clearly, I would say there is dramatic acceleration in digital. Same thing is applicable to NIIT. We're seeing digital business growing upwards of 30%. Second, I would say is on reskilling. We talked about what's happened at NIIT, but I would say even for the industry, a huge amount of reskilling which has happened. That would be the second thing. The third, I would say, is a shift to focus on platforms and create your own intellectual property and product. So now in each one of the industry segments, we have our own platforms around which we are offering services and offering digital services.
Right. And would you say digital is now almost half, if not more, of your total product portfolio?
About 30%.
And is that growing as you
it's growing at 30%.
In the same
Yeah.
in the same this thing?
Yeah.
And absolutely last question. So if you look at the year ahead, given this whole opportunity versus reality, if there's a number that you would put to how much would become reality in the coming year, what would it be?
I can't put a number, but very clearly,
or a percentage, or
very clearly, as I mentioned, the whole subject of artificial intelligence is no longer a hype, and I think in every solution there's an element of AI that's getting built in. We are seeing enormous amount of that happening, for example, in our infrastructure, wherever there's data.
Yeah.
See, you can't have AI without data. So wherever you have the data,
you need AI, data, and cloud.
Yeah, you need the three things.
Yeah.
So wherever you have the data, AI is applicable, and so that will get embedded in every solution.
Right. That's a good note to end on. Thank you so much for speaking with us. Thank you.